I'm Michael Thomas Foumai, and this is part 2 of Becoming Beethoven, a video series documenting the creative process in creating a new Beethoven-inspired work for the Portland Symphony Orchestra. It's been about 1 month since the last episode where I demonstrated ways in which I could derive new music from the Beethoven symphonies and connect the work with Beethoven's hearing loss. I've since been working on the piece for about 7 weeks and have composed about 13 minutes of music. It's almost done. All my work is done at the computer with a notation program called Sibelius. It allows me to input notes, rhythms, and dynamics, everything that goes into the score and making the parts, and it also allows me to hear the music instantaneously through the synthesized instrument playback. As of now, the score is still in a pre-engraving stage. This means that the score has all the ideas in place, but it needs to be fleshed out or orchestrated. Here I've placed the rhythms and pitches that I want the horns to play, but we'll need to go back and re-orchestrate these pitches so that they are all playable. The entire score is like this right now, and it can look very haphazard or chaotic. But very soon I'll be fleshing out and engraving the score into its final version. I've decided that the work will be in 3 large sections, and will have a dramatic progression from darkness to light, something Beethoven does in his 5th Symphony, moving from C minor to C major in the course of the work. The beginning of the first section contains music that is very tragic, full of anguish and rage. It is the beginning of the darkness, and is modeled after the beginning of the 9th Symphony. I've begun the work with percussion, bell-like percussion, that symbolizes the ringing in the ear that foreshadows hearing loss. This is the beginning of a long crescendo which follows the progression of the opening music of the first movement, and I've added more pitches so that the harmony becomes blurred, a harmonic cluster. This turns into a gigantic crescendo, and the ringing transforms into a wave and wall of sound to express the great energy in Beethoven's music, and also the stormy and turbulent nature of his personal life. I have also taken a rhythmic motive from the 9th Symphony and developed it into music that imitates Beethoven's style. To express Beethoven's descent into darkness and depression, leading to his ruminations on suicide, I have used descending scale figurations, and in the strings these scales will transform through glissandi, as if to smear the sound, further illustrating a descent into a kind of madness. In the middle section, the music becomes less agitated. The rhythmic motive now becomes twice as slow, blurred by cluster harmonies, and sometimes referenced only by the bass drum. In this section, I wanted to explore Beethoven's love of nature. If there is something that can transition the darkness of the beginning into light, perhaps exploring the beauty of nature through a lighter, more transparent kind of music can point the work in a more positive direction. A return to the turbulent music and crescendo of the beginning signifies the last section, but the trajectory of this second large crescendo ends in a move towards light, referencing the progressions and figurations from the first movement of the Sixth Symphony. On the next installment of Becoming Beethoven, I will continue to go into more detail of the work's transformations and hidden symbolisms, including the allusions to Beethoven's concert overtures and chamber music.